Well, the tour of Mythicality is 153 days away, which is terrifying. I want to take a nap so bad. I'm sweating thanks to this fucking light. But let's do it! Let's keep going! But things are already coming together. I already have my plane tickets, Hallie is already planning what meals she's going to make for me, and we are already thinking of what poses we are going to do for the meet and greet. Psst, that's next month's video. So today, we thought we'd give you a little bit of context as to why the Tour of Mythicality and Rhett and Link are both so important to us. And it might get a little bit deep. Okay, so why are Rhett and Link so important to me personally? The first people that I ever subscribed to was Grace Helbig when she was Daily Grace. And I remember, I think it was like 2012, it was like the summer of 2012, she put out a video and Rhett and Link were in it, and I watched it and I remember thinking that they were like, I was like, oh, these guys are pretty funny. And so basically from there I went and I checked out all their channels. Of course I subscribed to everything, and I think they were in like season 2 or 3 of GMM, and so I started watching that. And it just so happened that at this time I was going through like my first actual breakup, you know, like the beginning of high school, my sophomore year. So I was kind of a mess. Obviously I didn't know as much about my emotions back then because I was in high school. So like at the time I was devastated. Now I'm like, okay, that wasn't even, that whole summer I had a lot of like trouble and I was really upset and I didn't want to get out of bed, and I, you know, was home by myself pretty much most of the time with just my little brother. And so like I watched Rhett and Link and I watched Good Mythical Morning, and that helped me a lot. And so I went back and I watched all of Good Morning Chi Lincoln, I watched the GMMs that I missed, and I became a fan at that moment. And I wasn't at that time like a crazy super big fan like I am now, but since then I have never really stopped in my support for them, and I've always been a fan. And that was the first thing that they really helped me get through. And since that moment, they and their content have helped me get through countless things. Basically, in high school is when my anxiety peaked. Like junior and senior year, my anxiety got really bad, and for a long time, my anxiety had centered around the fact that I have chronic migraines. I always had a lot of anxiety surrounding the migraines that I had because when I first got them, they were so bad that it affected me for the majority of my life of like school and high school and middle school. I had really bad times where I was afraid to go out and do anything. I was afraid to go hang out with my friends. I was afraid to go to school. I was afraid to leave the house without one of my parents, without knowing that there was a way to get back home quickly or knowing that there was a hospital I could go to, because I didn't know how to deal with my migraines. Now I know that it's not going to kill me and I know how to deal with it. I can be at home and it's fine. But I was really terrified back then, and so that fed into my anxiety. And so when I was sick or when I was having this anxiety, I could also go back just like I did when I first started watching them, and they were always there. Rhett and Link were always there for me to go back to, for me to make myself laugh, for me to listen to when I was sick, for me to deal with feeling anxiety and feeling like I didn't have as many friends or like I couldn't go anywhere. I could stay at home and I could watch their videos and feel like I wasn't alone. The past 2 years I've been in college. I started college in 2015, and it was really difficult for me to be away from home. It was my sophomore year, and so I did move off campus and I moved into an apartment, so I no longer had my roommate that I was really, really close to with me. So I lived in an apartment. I was very alone. I was very stressed out because if I did get sick, if I did get a migraine, if I had anything go wrong, I didn't live on campus, so I couldn't just go back to my room. I had to get home. So it was the concept of traveling somewhere always stressed me out because I wouldn't be able to get back. But basically, that year was the worst for me school-wise, just because I was completely alone and I was already having trouble being away at school. But now, you know, I was more isolated, and I have always had anxiety, but I think this past year was the first time that I really felt like I was depressed and that I really struggled with depression and was able to identify I am depressed right now. And I've also had, during that year, I had lots of struggles with my doctor, trying to get medications that I needed, and having people at my doctor's office basically tell me that anxiety wasn't real. So not only that, not only was I kind of depressed and alone living by myself, I started a job that year, and so I was trying to deal with school, and I was trying to deal with work, and I was trying to like not be depressed because I was away from my family, I was away from my boyfriend, and I really only had like 3 friends at this entire college, and it was the girl that I lived with the past year and her 2 friends. So she was the main person that I had, and then I had people at work, and one of the girls that I worked with I did go to high school with, so I knew her, but I didn't really reach outside my comfort zone very often. And when I was home, I was just in my room, I was alone, and I was depressed, and I was just sort of empty feeling. And so dealing with all of that and being stressed out about schoolwork and having all of these anxieties and like this new depression that I had never really experienced, Rhett and Link became even more important to me than they had been in the past. Okay, so my camera died, so I hope this is okay. I'm sorry, Viv, and I'm sorry to everybody who has to watch it this way, but I have no time to wait for my camera to charge, and we have to post this video soon, so this is how I'm going to be doing the rest of it, and I will try to be as quick as I possibly can. Essentially, the whole point of what I'm talking about is this past year was probably one of the most difficult years that I've really had, and I knew that no matter what, I could wake up every morning before I had to go to class, take a test, or before I had to go to work and deal with people that treated me like garbage, and before so many of the issues that I had, I could watch Good Mythical Morning, I could watch Rhett and Link's content, and they would make me smile, and they would always be there. And so that really means a lot to me, and it's just become even more important in this past year that I had them, and that like they were always able to make me smile, and through them I was able to find this community of people that really understood me and that really were there to listen, and that I could talk to about my problems and feel like I wasn't alone, because I think that that's what everybody needs. And when you're dealing with stuff like that where you feel alone all the time, the best thing that can happen is like finding people who make you feel like you're not alone, even if physically you are. When you find someone who can make you smile and who are they're putting this content out there that has so much positivity and that is there for people so often, and it is there to brighten your day and to make you feel like you're not alone, it really helps no matter who it is or no matter who you are. Something like that can be exactly what you need when you're struggling. And so that's basically what Rhett and Link have done for me. That's why they mean so much, because I've just struggled for so long with so many things and anxiety, and having this place that I can always go back to when everything is hard, even when other people can't be there for me, or when I'm too afraid to talk to the people I don't want to because I don't want to bother them, or I just want to be alone, but I don't really want to be alone, or when you're so sad and you've had the worst day ever and you just kind of need to laugh. They've always been that for me, and so that means a lot. And the last thing that I wanted to say was that if it weren't for Rhett and Link, I would have never met Viv, and so I don't think I could be more grateful for 2 people for introducing me to someone who I think I'm going to be friends with forever.
So my reason for loving them is unconventional. When I first started watching their content more regularly, I looked into their backstory a little bit. And of course, I fell in love with how long they had been friends, but what really stood out to me is that they were ex-engineers. I was currently in the throes of an engineering degree myself, and their story just inspired me. They had engineering degrees, but they weren't doing engineering, and they were successful and they were happy. And the thought that one day I could be a YouTuber or a comedian or a baker or anything really, just being happy someday inspired me to go and finish my degree. So most people would probably be like, I shouldn't be doing this, and change their major and have a really inspiring story like, that's why I flipped my college career on a dime. No, I'm just finishing so then I can have an engineering degree and then do whatever I want and be successful and be happy. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is the start of my path of happiness. Did you expect this to get deep? So another reason that Rhett and Link are also so important to me is that I go to a commuter college, which means that during the school year, all of my friends are somewhere else, which is usually totally okay, but sometimes it can get a little bit lonely. And so being able to have Good Mythical Morning to watch during my lunch break or maybe on the way to school, and then having a whole community of people to talk with was really, really important for me, especially within the last 2 semesters. They were really tough classes, I was having a really hard time, and having that as that little bright spot in my day made a huge impact. I honestly don't know what kind of mental health condition I would be in, what my grades would be like, or whether I'd still even be in engineering school if I didn't have Rhett and Link and Good Mythical Morning. And of course, Rhett and Link contributed to me meeting one of my now best friends in my entire life, Hallie. I honestly don't know what I would do without her. I certainly wouldn't be meeting Rhett and Link. I certainly wouldn't be starting a YouTube channel. And I certainly wouldn't be having nearly as much fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate all the support that we've received so far. Seriously, it's been making our day every single day that we check and we see that something else has happened and you guys are interacting with us. It's more important than you guys will ever know. Even just a like or a passing comment brightens our day by like 1,000,000%. Not to beg for likes and comments and subscribing, but if you'd feel so inclined, all the buttons are down there. Like I predicted in our first video, or second video, YouTube did move the subscribe button. I wasn't crazy. They do change it every week. So, feel free to hit it if you're so inclined. We will be doing more update videos about the Tour of Mythicality and our connection with Rhett and Link every single 15th of the month leading up through December. And other than that, who knows when we'll be uploading our individual videos. Maybe it'll be Thursday, maybe it's Friday, maybe you'll get 7 videos a week. You will not be getting 7 videos a week, I can promise you that. But if you like weird stuff, if you like weird people, this channel's for you. All of our social media will be linked down in the description below. If you want to have a conversation with us, we'll have our Tumblr linked below. We'll even put our Good Mythical Summer playlist. If you're still missing out on those, stop missing out on it. Go listen to some good music. Enjoy yourself. I can't wait to see where we end up going with this channel, and I obviously cannot wait for the Tour of Mythicality. I'm so excited. So excited to meet Rhett and Link. I'm super excited to meet Hallie in person. And it's just gonna be a good time. So I'm gonna stop rambling. Bye!
A big piece of why I'm thankful for them. What's going on outside of my house? Hello?
Rhett and Link are so important to us. Fuck you, car!
Blah 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 blah, and I'm gonna hate myself, yeah.
I fucked it up, 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 I fucked it up. Okay. Every transition is just me dabbing. Okay.
Someone tried to break into my house this morning while I was in the shower because my dog went crazy and it was the best, and I kept showering because how am I gonna defend myself against a serial killer when there's slow conditioner in my hairs?
We were gonna do a video that compared like all the ways that we were so similar. Like that's what our video idea was going to be. But we realized it was so hard to even pick singular things that we have in common because we have so much in common that we honestly can't even like verbally explain how similar we are. We're just like basically the same person that live in different states and have like slightly different experiences sometimes. Honestly, I think there was a glitch in the Matrix and we just kind of ended up like split up across the country, and that's just kind of how it happened. That's my theory. That's my Rhett theory, is that Hallie and I are actually the same person from different dimensions that like fell through some glitch in the Matrix and then got like scrambled and split up. And so we have so many things in common except for like a few minor differences. Shane Dawson, pick this up, make it go viral. And the thought that someday I might be able to be happy